Hello my fellow Ghoul Renegade, and welcome back to a brand new video of Ghoulish Reacts. And today we are back diving into the crazy world of Alex Kister's Mandela Catalogue. Now, this video came out 2 months ago, and when it came out, I absolutely had no time to react to it, no time to watch it, because I was focusing on other projects and doing other things around that time that this came out. So we're going to be watching the latest edition of the Mandela Catalogue, but it's not a volume. It's simply just a video titled Mandela Catalyst. So my perspective and point of view is that this is taking place after Volume 4. Because Alex did say that he is working on Volume 5 and 6. I think not all at the same time, but he's working on it slowly in the background. And for those of you who may be wondering why and I will mention for this video, I am not going to be posting Alex's Twitter in the description for this video, and that is simply because Alex deleted his Twitter so he could focus more on his real life and to work on the Mandela Catalogue without being interrupted by a lot of people. So Alex pretty much deleted most of his major social medias just because he wanted to work on the Mandela Catalogue in private and stuff like that. I don't know if he still has his Patreon up. I don't know if he still has his Instagram or stuff like that. I don't know. But he did say he was leaving Twitter simply just to work on the Mandela Catalogue and focus on other projects that he wants to pursue after Mandela is officially over. Because Alex did state after Mandela 6 comes out, that's the last one we're getting. So, and that's going to wrap up this whole story. So anyway, today we're reacting to a video on Alex's channel called Mandela Catalyst. Now, I'm assuming this takes place after the events of Volume 4, but we're going to see. Here, let me turn on subtitles, because sometimes I can understand what they're saying, other times I can't. But let's do this. 2009 Channel 3 incident, the only recording. Okay. Holy crap, wait a minute, what? Comcast TV listings 437. Oh my goodness. Alex created like a whole Face Studio 2. He created like a whole literally TV guide. That's crazy. Okay, the only nitpick that I have, and I just noticed this right away. So we got the Mandela News channel, Channel 3, ironically. That could be a parallel to like a like if you're here in Missouri, we got Fox 2 News, so like that could be a parallel to that. I'm just saying. That's just me because I know where I live. Then we got Channel 4 Legacy, where they do movies, so it's like probably old movies and stuff. Channel 5 ESPN. The only critique I have, this is the only critique I have, it's PBS. Now, I know it may be different in other states, like what channel PBS is on, but for me, in my state, PBS is actually on Channel 9. When I used to have cable, it was always on Channel 9. It was never on Channel 8, always Channel 9. But like I said, in the fictional universe of the Mandela Catalogue, it could be a little bit different, so it's off by a number. So, but I find that a little interesting that Alex created a whole actual TV guide for this episode. I think that's really inventive. And also, down here at the bottom, we have an ad for Face Studio 2. Face Studio 2 was implemented in the 4th volume, and we start to find out slowly in Volume 4 that Adam actually isn't human. He's either half alternate or he is just an alternate that looks like a human. So that kind of like revealing that his origins, that when the intruder took him long ago, back in like Volume 3, it was revealed that the intruder took him. And it turns out that he may or may not be an alternate. I'm leaning towards the fact that maybe he is just actually an alternate, but he just looks like a human. But he doesn't know that he is an alternate, or he's hiding it from himself. So, just a few things I thought we'd talk about to kind of get back into the mind space of the Mandela Catalogue universe, so let's continue.
Right now, we are following the breaking news at the St. Gabriel Church, where the owner of a local electronics retailer was found dead in the parking lot. News source Aaron is live at the scene, gathering the latest details. He just finished speaking to an investigator.
Okay, the St. Gabriel Church. Now, for those of you who've been watching Mandela Catalogue pretty much as long as I have, or you guys just simply watch it through my perspective and just watch me watch it, of course, we all know that Gabriel in this series is the name of the what I like to call him, the false shepherd. Because in Alex's story, this is a universe where God doesn't exist, or God was at least overthrown by Satan and all that stuff. So Satan has officially taken God's place in this universe, thus leading the creatures known as alternates, otherwise known as demons, to, come about the earth and make this a really, really bad situation. So basically what I love to describe the Mandela Catalogue to people who've never seen it or have never really who were never really fascinated with religion, I always chalk the Mandela Catalogue up to a big what if story. And that's essentially what it is. It's like, what if the tables were turned? Like, what if it wasn't good? What if it was just evil? But even if evil exists, there's always still going to be good to combat it, because there's always two sides of a coin. No matter what scenario you like to go through, there's always two different sides. You can never fully have evil without good being there, just like you can never fully have good without evil being there. So both of them have to exist simultaneously. And even within the world of the Mandela Catalogue, there is always factions of some times. There is the false prophet Gabriel going against the intruder, or the intruder going against Gabriel. And Gabriel is the one controlling all of these things that are happening within the world of the Mandela Catalogue.
Well, that's right. We are at the St. Gabriel Church right on the border of Mandela and Berkshire County, where a nearby homeowner reported hearing screaming from an adult male at around 12 a.m. this morning.
All right.
Right now the scene is closed to the public, but this is the most traffic that Mandela has gotten in a while following last night's events.
Ooh, TV's glitching out. 333, it flashed on the screen. Channel 3 Studio. An alternate, no face. No more running away. Wow, that's creepy.
We do not have anyone in custody at the moment, but once we get that information, we will be sure to get those details to you.
Okay, so now we're back on the chatting website that was briefly introduced in Volume 4. And this is a conversation between Evelyn, the girlfriend, Adam's girlfriend, and Sarah Heathcliff, the sister of Mark Heathcliff from the very first volume. So these two are still in contact with each other. And Sarah starts off the conversation like, "This is Evelyn, right?" And Evelyn says, "Yeah." She said, "Okay, just making sure I got the right contact." So let's see how this conversation is going to play out. "Hey, Evelyn, I know it's been a little while, but have you talked to Adam recently?" Okay, let's see what Evelyn has to say. "No, he hasn't responded to me in weeks." Interesting. Did something happen to him? "No, everything's all right. Was just curious." Okay. "Sarah, you can tell me. I was already concerned." "He's fine, Evelyn." Oh, okay. She didn't delete it. I was like, oh, she deleted it. No. "Has he been acting weird around you too?" Ooh, that's an interesting question. Image 03. Oh, image 003.mov. So movie.
Adam?
Evelyn, come here.
What are you doing?
Something I want to show you.
There's something I want to show you. Oh no! I don't think it's Adam. I think it's an alternate. That's police static. That's like their radio conversation. Adam. Holy crap.
Who is that? Adam, who is that?
My goodness. And then she turns on the light and he's gone. Ooh, okay. And I gotta admit, whoever voiced Evelyn for that part, my lord, the voice acting was so good on that. She really did a good job. Wow. I'm pretty impressed with that. I mean, I'm not saying like the voice acting in Alex's series is bad or anything, but That was powerful. Like, you could hear it in her voice, and see, that's what defines pretty much a good actor, when you can feel the same thing that they're feeling all at the same time, even though if you're just watching it, that denotes really good acting chops. I really liked that. The voice acting was so on point for that scene. That's really good. And I like how Alex animated this little thingy. I don't know actually how much Alex does with the videos, because I know he has like Thatcher, Teenage Disaster, the guy who plays Thatcher. I know he has him like do some of the stuff for the videos, like the 3D models, the rendering of the environments and stuff like that. But I don't know like how much like towards the animation does Alex do. That's something that's actually a question I'd probably want to ask him personally, if I ever got a chance to, like if we did an interview or something like that. I don't know if he'd be up for that, but that's an interesting question for me to ask. I gotta keep that in mind. So I got a couple of theories about this little scene right here. Either Evelyn just encountered an alternate that was faking Adam's voice, or that was actually Adam in her doorway in his alternate form. Now, judging how Adam is slowly finding out more and more about himself, probably slowly finding out that he is actually an alternate kind of disguised as a human, something tells me that it wasn't an alternate mimicking Adam, but it was Adam himself, but the alternate side of him just kind of took over for that moment in time. And it was kind of odd, because his voice was on point and everything, and then it started playing police radio static. Like, it started playing like police calls, like the police going to and fro and whatever. Because the alternates can mimic anything that they hear, whether the person be alive, dead, or they just hear their voice in general. They can mimic anyone. But it's not always perfect. But Adam being a new type of alternate, a different breed essentially, like a different species almost, it kind of begs the question whether he can distort his own voice in a way using his alternate side or not. I don't know the whole technicalities of what happens if a human is an alternate, or if they're both together in the same body. I don't know how Alex is going about that. But I'm thinking in the next volume we're going to get some major answers, or we're probably going to hit some more heavy lore drops, I'm assuming. But let's continue. So he's gone. He didn't come back. And she keeps turning on and off the light, making sure that he's not there. Bythorn Hospital leaked camera audio. Dave Lee. Okay, David Lee. So for those of you who remember David Lee was played by Alex himself. David Lee ran the Mandela Tech store. And in that store, David Lee had the only working analog television left in Wisconsin. Because the Mandela Catalogue, it takes place in Mandela, Wisconsin. Now, Mandela, Wisconsin isn't a real place. I'm just saying that right now because it's a fictional story, but it takes place in Wisconsin. But the only comparisons that a lot of people have drawn from that is that Alex lives in Wisconsin, or heck, he may live in another state, we don't know. But a lot of people have kind of drawn the comparison that, so he's making a story in his own state. That's kind of interesting. So David Lee, he ran the Mandela Tech store. And one thing that David Lee did was police officer Thatcher, he would send David tapes, and he would have him restore them so Thatcher could further his investigation on alternates when the whole alternate invasion started happening. So now David is dead because he got killed by Gabriel at the St. Gabriel Church, ironically enough. Because David got too close to the truth, or as Gabriel told him, he started following the shepherd. Now, we don't know who this elusive shepherd is. It's always mentioned by Gabriel that when someone gets too close to the truth, they're following the shepherd. So, now I'm assuming the shepherd is like maybe the intruder, or maybe just some kind of form of God, at least, in some type of essence. But we don't really know. So, let's see what's happening here at the hospital. Unidentified nurses.
Give me the rundown.
Give me the rundown.
Dead upon arrival and both guys missing.
Oh.
Estimated death was at around midnight.
Dang.
Were the guys recovered?
No.
No, didn't get any word about that.
Oh, jeez. So Gabriel took his eyes. That's interesting. We've never seen that before. Now, we do know before David died that Gabriel made him bleed from the eyes, and then he fell down on the ground and died. But I didn't know that Gabriel took his eyes. So there's something significant about this eye. I feel that's something significant, something about his eyes. Like, maybe he saw something he wasn't supposed to see, so Gabriel took his eyes. I mean, that's probably the whole point, yeah, that if they... but then again, this is in a universe where technology isn't, like, super advanced, so I don't think we'll ever really know.
Oh, Jesus. What? Come here. Look. Oh my god.
Yeah. Brain's not supposed to do that.
Oh, there's something wrong with his brain. So it's not so much more a physical effect, it's more of a physical
That place
effect.
even existed.
Well, yeah. Nothing really worth talking about. Felt kind of weird, actually, seeing people there. Especially the press.
This was on the news?
I guess so.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so
Last time I heard them mentioned was when they were all migrating to, what was it, Workshop?
Workshop.
Don't ask me.
Okay, so... Oh, there's Gabriel sitting on top of this, like, little house or trailer. There's a satellite dish. Okay, so Gabriel's watching somebody. We don't know who yet. But there was something wrong with David's brain. The doctor mentioned that the brain isn't supposed to do that. So there was obviously something really bad with it. Like it was like mutated or some kind of thing with that. I don't know. They didn't show nothing. Alex didn't show nothing. So Alex kind of left that a little bit ambiguous. But there's something wrong with David's brain when he died. Because his brain is obviously doing something unnatural that his brain is not supposed to do. At least in the terms of, you know, weird creatures, alternates walking around. I guess things in the Mandela Catalogue universe are just really, really crazy all the time, and it doesn't matter. So, and then they started talking about the St. Gabriel Church and how people forgot that it even existed. I mean, I feel that's kind of odd. Like, there's a specific building that maybe you've gone to in your childhood, and all of a sudden when you turn into an adult, you just forget it exists. Like, was never even there in the first place. I find that kind of odd. And then they talked about a specific group moving to a town called Workshaw. So, from what we know from Volume 4, Mandela County used to have a lot of people in it. A lot of people. And then when the alternate invasion started happening, everyone started either dying or they started moving away, and the population began to decline very rapidly. So I'm assuming when the alternate invasion initially broke out, after it just got so bad, for so long, for so many years, that I think a lot of people who used to live in Mandela, they decided to move to a different county or at least a different part of Wisconsin to feel safe. So I'm assuming this Workshaw, wherever that is. Okay, so we got Gabriel sitting on top of this house. Wake up. Thatcher. Okay, so we're back with Thatcher. Okay, wake up, Thatcher. Can you hear me? Ooh. So he's talking to Thatcher. I am your intuition. Oh. I think that's what it says. Do you hear the screams? Oh. Go and see. Okay, that's interesting.
It's a beautiful, cozy evening in Workshire County tonight.
Workshire County.
The storms are pulling back, and the sun is making its way back in tomorrow. In other news, it looks like the canceled truck.
Okay, so I'm assuming Thatcher's driving the car because Gabriel told him go and see. So, from what we know from Volume 4, Thatcher is no longer working for the Mandela Police Department. He has left. And an alternate at the police department has taken Thatcher's place, officially copying him. So Thatcher has his own alternate that he has to deal with. And as far as what we know, Thatcher went into hiding after this alternate took his place, essentially. Because it was teased in Volume 3 that Thatcher dies, but then it turns out that Thatcher doesn't die at all. So after this alternate takes its place, Thatcher goes in hiding. So now he's not in Mandela anymore, from what it seems. Either he is traveling to Warwickshire County, and he still lives in Mandela, or Thatcher is actually hiding in Warwickshire County. We don't know. I'm just going to kind of guess. BPS, Bythorn. Oh, the Bythorn Paranormal Society. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so Thatcher's in a house.
The Fate of the Jester. Chapter 1. As the boy lay there dormant, all of his humanity drained into a murky puddle. Milky eyes cut through the thick blackness of the bedroom. A spectator. He was no longer the hero of this story. Just a cog in the machine.
Huh. That was an interesting excerpt. Sorry, not expert. My bad, guys. Okay, so it was Chapter 1, The Fate of the Jester. Huh, that's interesting. I don't know if that's from a specific book or something, but that's interesting. So the boy lay there dormant. He was no longer the hero of the story, just a cog in the machine, a spectator. So Thatcher walks in on... Is that Adam? Is that who he's looking to see? Do you hear the screams? There's a bottle of bleach on the floor. And it says something about milky eyes. Yeah, there's a bottle of bleach right there. Yep, it's Thatcher walking in on Adam. Yeah, it's Adam. What in the world? Yeah, because there's his hoodie. Yeah, it showed a picture of the half picture of his face with the hair and the hoodie. Yep, that's Adam. It said suspect identified. Oh, Thatcher tried to say something. He said, "Hey, kid." Suspect identified. Whoa. Thatcher tried to talk to him. He said, "Hey, kid." The creepy thing about that was he was speaking, but you notice how his mouth was rarely ever moving, or he was moving in really weird positions. That's so I think now it's at this point that Adam has figured out that he is an alternate. He's finally learned the truth about himself, which is something that everyone's been wanting to know at least since Volume 4. So Adam has now found out the truth about himself, which actually makes that excerpt that was read before us, told to us, a little bit more powerful. He is no longer the hero in the story, just a cog in the machine. Wow. Because in other volumes, they kind of make you root for Adam, like he's the one who's going to solve all this. And they also kind of make you root for Thatcher as well, because you think both of them might team up together and they're going to solve this thing. But it turns out, even though the reason why Adam, and this kind of goes back to Volume 2, why Adam was so obsessed with the alternates. He wasn't just obsessed with them just because he wanted to know the truth. In a way, yeah, he wanted to know the truth. But it was more than that, how Alex was leading us down that road of, like, he wanted to learn the truth about himself, more so than anything. So that's one reason why he was so obsessed with the alternates, and why Adam didn't have as much empathy as others would, specifically when Jonah died in Volume 2. And how Sarah gets really angry at that, saying that Adam didn't care, he didn't feel any compassion for his best friend dying. Like, not necessarily before his eyes, but because we know that Adam stayed in the house and Jonah drove off, and then he gets tormented by the intruder and then dies off screen. And that's as far as we know about at least Jonah's fate. And then Sarah accuses Adam of him not having any empathy towards his best friend dying to an alternate. Adam just acted nonchalant, but that's because he is half alternate. He's going to have that side of him where he's not going to care. Or at least it didn't faze him, because in a way he kind of understood his own kind at that point. He just didn't know the truth yet. And that was interesting that they showed that bottle of bleach. So that tells me that I think Adam figured out who he was a little bit earlier, before Thatcher even came into the house, and he tried to end it himself. But the alternate side of him wouldn't let him. Or it started taking effect, and thus leading to those really painful screams that we were hearing coming from Adam. That's interesting, though. So then there's this little smiley face. I don't know what that means. Okay, so Adam is still screaming in the background. Okay, well, that was interesting. That was the Mandela Catalogue, Mandela Catalyst. That was an interesting one. So this one pretty much just proves the thing that I've been theorizing, and a lot of people of y'all have been theorizing as well, is that Adam is an alternate. He has found out the truth. And it's unfortunate that Thatcher was the one who had to stumble upon him, even though Gabriel told him to go there. And this also kind of shows how much in control that Gabriel truly is of this entire world and its universe. So, you know, from looking at Gabriel in the earlier volumes, you think that he's kind of just like powerless, and he just kind of messes with things when he wants to, but it kind of shows how much of a puppet master he really is in this world, and how bad things can really go. But that's interesting. Ironically enough, we didn't see any remnants of the intruder in this episode. I was hoping we were going to get a little bit more out of the intruder, because I guess out of all the characters in this series, the intruder is honestly one of my favorites, just because of how he's portrayed, how he has that mysterious element to him. And plus, I kind of love the concept of a dude coming out of the TV. I mean, Little Nightmares 2 is like one of my favorite games, and introduced one of my favorite characters from that game, the Thin Man, who is all about televisions and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of interesting how Alex kind of created a character kind of like in that way, even though I believe Mandela Catalogue came out before Little Nightmares 2, or Little Nightmares 2 was just releasing as Mandela Catalogue was coming out. I don't know. I can't remember. It's been a long while since I watched the first volume. Now, Alex has created the restored edition of Volume 1. I don't know if I really want to watch that. I kind of want to wait for the main series to end before I watched the restored editions. And all I gotta say is the restored editions is Thatcher's version of events. So basically, it's the same volume. It's Volume 1, but with Thatcher's little Mandela alternate investigation little footnotes in those videos. So I just thought I'd mention that. But yeah, that was really interesting. I really enjoyed that one, honestly. I just think it's really cool how Alex is going in this direction, and with each volume, Alex is doing bigger and grander things. He's really creative, and I feel I don't give him enough credit for being as creative. Granted, he's around my age group. I feel like people in Alex and Kane Pixels, I feel like I don't give them enough credit, because they're doing some pretty cool stuff. Like, even if a lot of people don't agree with the story and they think it's obtuse and they're not into like weird analog horror type stuff, which I understand. If it's not for everybody, I totally get it. Like, if analog horror interests you and there's a certain series that you like and you're just really into it and you just really like it for the story, then that's cool. But if you're just one of those types of people who just don't think analog horror is scary and you just don't like it, then hey, that's okay too. Everyone has things that they like, and for me, it's a story thing. Like, I'm a big story geek. I love things with a good story. I love things with a story that suck me in, that intrigue me, and gets me to theorize about it. And that's what a lot of people have, been commenting about on my reactions. They love how I theorize about it while I'm watching the video, and they love how I talk about it, and they like how in-depth I like to go with certain things. But anyway, guys, that's unfortunately all the time I have today for this episode. So please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications when I upload new videos. Make sure to follow my social media links down in the description below to join the Ghoul Renegade. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!